Hello and welcome to this Project in a Box video. This is part 2 of the version 5.3 launch materials, and here we're going to have a look at the new piabx extensions. So looking at the changes we've made to piabx files in terms of the control of the templates and what you can do with the piabx files, what you can put in them, etc., both in the browser and also in the Windows application for piabx. So let's have a look at that. So as we do normally, we're going to come and open our piabx files. Now we've put a whole new set of method templates out. Again, iMethods which have piabx files instead of Word files, and this is one of those. So we can come down and let's have a look at the appointments one first, because it's a pretty good example. As we do normally, we get our preview of the file, but then because it's piabx, we can check it out and edit it live in the browser. So far this is looking exactly like it did before. You know, the piabx format is set up so that you can define templates with pre-configured structure which can't be changed by the end users. You're just collecting the information they want, rather than Word files where they can of course change the structure and do all sorts of things with it. Straight away we see some things that are slightly different. So we've got this mandatory field now, which a flag you can set against your items. And then you can set up a mandatory text in each section at the bottom of that. Now this doesn't mean they're actually mandatory, it means that we're indicating that they should be completed. So there's no rules around not allowed to save the file if it's not completed, etc. But it's just allowing you to flag which ones are the important ones. So that's new. And then if we come along and look at the particular roles here, you'll see we've got a couple of new field types that are available and they're being utilized here. We've got image, which allows us to include images in our files. So I can come and get an image from here, and that will be now included in the file, along with the other notes I'm going to give, etc., and who the person is and all those sorts of things. And we can also have a field which is a link, so I can put in there a link if I need to another file, and we obviously just copy and paste that in or type it in, and that will be converted into a hyperlink which is clickable from the preview version of the piabx file when it's checked back in. So that's really quite a useful thing as well. It automatically converts that for you. So those are the two new field types. The rest of them are the same. Now, previously piabx templates were fixed, rigid templates. You couldn't change them at all without taking them back to the designer tool to do that. Now, though, you can, and we have this new edit menu in up here. But that's only where you've been given permissions to do that. So in this particular file, actually, there's no permission being given to extend it at all, to add extra new sections in, or to add new items to existing sections, or to allow any changes, in fact, at all to this template. Others, though, do allow that. And that's under a password control. So when you create your template, you can say, well, I want these sections actually to be completed. But then when it comes to extra things, yes, you can add extra things if you want to. Or I'm going to allow you to edit this particular section, but not other sections. And you can password control that. So in this one, mandate here, let's check that out. We can see we've got 4 sections. One of them is being completed via injection of properties into variables. And the other 3 are sections that we want people to complete. Now, I'm not allowed to edit the contents of these sections. That's controlled in this particular template. But what I am allowed to do is add additional sections. And I can do that either by adding a completely new one, or I can duplicate one of the existing ones like this. And we'll see now those two are the same. And then I could, if I wanted to, edit this one. So I could come in here and change responsible person perhaps. So let's edit that item to be something other than text. We could make it a date if we wanted to instead, and let's call it date field, like that. And we'll see that's now changed to be a date field, and it's got a date picker on it. And we can of course control the layout of this as well, whether it's a mandatory field or not, all those other sorts of things. So this is giving a bit of control back to the end user, because sometimes, you know, the files do need to be extended, and that's an appropriate thing to do, but we may not want people to delete the core things that we've put in there. So that's what this controls. Now, you can't use that, you can't access that password unlock here in the browser. That has to be done from the viewer to be able to come and change that stuff fundamentally. So we're still generally setting up new templates in the viewer, saving them as part of our method, launching them out to people, but this is giving a bit of control to the end user about how they might extend that file if you want them to be able to do that. Now, we've also introduced into our iMethods, and in fact into all of our methods now, a new blank file, which is a piabx type file. So if I do add file and come to template library, the first one I find is blank piabx file, and of course that comes in and it immediately enables us to be able to add some content straight in the browser. We don't have to go and type something into a notes document and upload it, or a Word document. We can just do this straight into the browser in any project. Now this of course comes in completely unlocked, so I can, any of these sections, I can remove them. I can put some extra sections in if I want to. I can come in here and add to the sections that are here, so I can come in and come to this one and append a new item at the bottom. It'll be automatically the same as the one previously, or I've got a link here at the bottom to add a new one, and I can then, once I've got mine selected, I can come in and change that to be for example an image like that, and then we've got an image in that one at the bottom. So this is great for getting new content in really quickly. You've got that tool there that enables you to do that, and the blank one, like I say, completely unlocked, so you can do with it as you wish. So that's all of course working here in the browser, but the same things apply in the Windows application as well. Just to show you this, I'm going to save this file, check it back in like that. So that's in mandate, that's blank file, and then we come down to our application here. I'm on the same project, and when I come in, I'm going to see that blank file there that we've just checked in a second ago, and when I check it out here, of course it's going to open in the piabx viewer, the standalone viewer, and we can see the changes that we made to that file there. And of course we can continue to work on it like that. We can edit and maneuver and add sections, and we can also add tables as well actually, and edit tables here. So if I wanted to come to one of these sections here and do table, add new table, it can drop a table into there, so we've got a table at the bottom, and then I can come into the table obviously and add extra columns and rows and change the types of them and make all that sort of structure. So lots of things here that enable us to work on files much better. Like I say, when we're in viewer here, we've also got the ability to come unlock this with a password, and like I say, the password can control whether people can add any new sections or not, and also the existing sections, whether they are locked. So if I was to give a password protection to this, of course, currently these sections are not locked, but if I come to my edit of the section, section properties, and we've got can manage section. So if I locked it now, people wouldn't be able to manage a section, but then I can give them permission to add or manage that particular section. So this is really good, like I say, control under password of exactly what you want to release to other people. They either fill in the forms as they are, or they can have the ability to manipulate them a bit further. And obviously in the Windows application here we do that a bit more. Now the Windows application, the piabx viewer here, it's completely free. You can give it to whoever you want to. You can download it and install it from our website, and that means that anybody can access and work on your piabx files. They don't necessarily have to come in and have a login to the system to work on them in the browser. Of course, most people are going to work on them in the browser because that's a really easy, convenient way of working, but both things apply. You can work on the same file in either different interface. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. That's, like I say, not an in-depth viewing of piabx, just looking at the newer features within it. And in the next section, part 3, we're going to be looking at extensions to properties, and we're going to be looking at the new set of method templates as well. Okay, thank you very much.